This is just a question for everyone involved here. What was the last show that you watched that really like impacted you, like
I've
animal-wise?
Anime
Evangelion,
wise.
Evangelion, the movie 2.22. That shit.
Okay.
That was the first movie that made me cry.
Really?
And I was watching that in middle school, and even though I didn't watch the first movie, I was like, damn.
Why did it make you cry?
I don't know,
Or what evoked the emotions?
like watching the original Evangelion series, just like the movies are a bit more emotional. I just can't explain it. Just all characters are set up like, it's like there's one character in the show and she's a complete bitch, and they actually made her human in the movies. So that's like step one of being upset. Then it was step two, another character, which again they fleshed out. And it was just like the final scene of the movie.
Cool.
Nice.
Anyone else?
So yeah. Go ahead, Tyler. After you.
Like, are we talking about animes or just regular stuff?
Oh,
yeah,
anime.
anime. Yeah.
Has impacted me the most.
Or like, I
I
mean,
was-
if you want to go simpler, you can just say what the last anime you watched was.
Yeah.
The last one I watched was Attack on Titan.
Oh, cool.
I watched the
Ah,
final season of that. No, not final season, but like the season finale, where I don't want to give any spoilers, but you know, it was a good fight, and I like the
Cool.
twist at the end. That was cool.
Cool. All right.
I'm not caught up with Attack on Titan. I'm kind of lacking.
I would say like most impactful and like the one that's really struck out to me growing up was always Fist of the North Star,
Oh,
which was like mid 80s when it came out. And even before that, I was watching like Ninja Scroll and Akira, and those were really awesome ones to be able to watch growing up as a kid. But with Fist of the North Star, I always the game was always so entertaining, just as much as the story, because obviously it's like one of the most violent animations ever created. But you know, sometimes I just keep going back to it. I'm like, wow, like they did this so well, and for a story, it can't be any better. Because I was just so surprised of how well done it was, and maybe like if they made a live action of that and did it really well, I'd be very impressed because it's a challenging story, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
yeah.
I think they did make a live action movie of Fist of the North Star, but the only thing I remember it was like the person who did the voice acting for Zuko for Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was like a kid, like side actor, background actor.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
That's,
All right.
I'm gonna have to check out that one. The one that's most recently, I finished Code Geass, and I really love the story for that. I feel like the second season got a little bit too much fan service, which I didn't like. I felt like they were like, "Oh, let's make an opportunity to do a fan service human camera." I'm like, "Come on, just get with the story. The story's great." But I think so far the animes I've watched that really impact me, what's the name? Your Lie in April. I know it's a very girly anime, but it's really cute. 2 seasons. The story kind of had a twist at the end that I wasn't expecting, and I just really like the character development of the 2 main characters. I'm afraid it gives too much away, but yeah, it was a good anime. What about you?
Great. Yeah, for me, the last show that I watched start to finish was 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That was a lot of fun. I can't remember the name of the one that affected me most, but I watched it a while back, and I think it's also on Netflix, and it's about these childhood friends who come to terms with the death of one of them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right?
It's it's something flower. One second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure this out.
And it's like it takes
One.
place in 2 time periods, one when they're really, really young and when they're like cusp of adulthood kind of deal. And the spirit of the one who passed away is lingering with one of them, and like it's them coming back together and like and dealing with all these problems and like dealing with having grown apart. It's,
Hana.
yes,
Yeah.
and it was really, really great, and a really, really sweet kind of show. And it was a lot of fun, and I loved it. And that was the last one that really stuck with me.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I agree. That's a
If-
really
if-
good anime.
If you guys had to look back, like, is there anything like from these styles of like movies or shows or like just even like the books or the mangas? Is that what they're called?
Manga.
Mangas, yeah.
oh my
Uh,
god.
Whatever I don't know.
Mango
I-
manga.
Yeah, I
Mango
made it
manga.
up. Yeah, it's made up on the spot. But like, have you taken any of those like as an inspiration to what you've done? To like any of your creative styles?
Funny enough,
I mean,
there's been a couple things that I've watched that really have been like either the way they handle character or the way that they do like framing, and I think that anime is such a beautiful like I mean it can be just a beautiful art form, and other times it can be trash, but like there's
Yeah.
so much that's been done with the art form that I think that there's so much potential, and I love looking for inspiration in some of those stories and some of those characters and in some of those just the way that things are done. I think it's super impactful and super influential.
What do you think, Tyler? How's it influenced you for any creativity?
You know that PowerPoint I showed you?
Oh, yep, here we go. I knew
Yeah,
this was going to come up.
The,
You wanna talk-
Dosku
would you like-
X.
Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, because that is like Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Super, and Naruto. Those were my inspirations to make Dosku X a PowerPoint, and I just made
Yep.
like it was like for like a class, like my film history class. We had like to make a TV show, and I made an anime called Dosku X. I could share the PowerPoint if please be quiet, but
Yeah.
I can just share the PowerPoint. So, but yeah,
And-
it was fun.
Speaking from a reader's perspective, it is visually cool, but reading it was very confusing. But I
Yeah.
got the story, but I liked it because I liked how you were like, since you can't like make your characters or whatever, because that would take like forever. You use characters and you just gave them like different talents and moves. So that was pretty cool.
Uh,
It was pretty creative. What about you, Rachel? What's inspired you?
I guess voices. So if I watch an anime where there's a character that has a very good voice, I might use that, or I'll try to imitate that and put that in a vocal arsenal for character voices. But I've noticed like there's only so many. That's like either high pitched, really girly anime voice, or it's
Whoa.
equivalent for females. And then you might have like the talking cat, like in Fairy Tale, like that could be
Oh yeah,
that could be a good voice.
the comic relief side character.
Yes.
We love it. We love a good side character.
Love a
Yeah.
good side character. So like I guess voices, and then probably drawing. I used to draw a lot of anime characters growing up, so those
Mhm.
are pretty major influences. The stories are always good. I wish I could get to a point where I'm writing a story that's like based off of an anime or something. Like I love all the stories in animes. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Connor?
All right, so I can't say it inspired me creatively. I just, you know what I mean. But I think like Dragon Ball kind of formed my way of just like watching. Am I frozen?
No,
Nope.
not that much.
Okay, because it's like on my screen I saw Tyler and he's just frozen in one frame. But for
Oh,
Dragon
I
Ball,
was just vibing.
He's just
I'm
not
just saying
moving.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
but for Dragon Ball, reading the manga and watching the show, just Akira Toriyama created Dragon Ball. He knew how to like do fight scenes because he'll do just like specific, just like one page of just like one like punch or like kick, just stuff like that, and I just think about like fight choreography.
All right.
I dig it.
Dragon Ball was the first anime I watched. Really got the ball going for anime, and I watched it when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this is great. And I think I had a crush on Piccolo.
Oh yeah.
Good
Oh
time.
man.
Not a
Oh,
bad
man.
crush.
Not a bad crush.
That's a great segue into another question. What was the first anime you guys either remember
Yes.
watching or like have watched?
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That's,
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I mean, that caused
Yeah.
my whole like taste for turn-based RPGs and games. Just I still play the games today. The collective all challenge. I've been doing it on Pokemon Gen 1, 2, and 3. Just doing it all officially. I'm finding out new stuff like on eBay. This one guy, he has ROMs that hasn't been posted online, and he's keeping them and selling them on this one like flashcard, and that's how he's distributing those events.
Nice.
Which I mean, I could respect, but he has information that's like historic to the Pokemon community.
All right, cool.
Keeping
Dylan,
it.
Oh, like the first thing I started watching?
the first thing you watched, if you can remember the show that really like got you into, or just go crazy with it.
First like show that actually got me into animation or
Mhm.
anime like that was probably Death Note.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that was
Ooh.
like
Cool.
the
Hell yeah.
first 2 episodes alone are like my favorite. But it's like just that entire like dark twisted storyline. I'm always just like, oh man, like you imagine this in real life,
Yeah.
you'd be screwed. So
Death Note is awesome.
and they recently came out with the movie in America, and it
The
was
live
not that
action one?
good.
No.
Yeah,
What do you
it
mean
was-
the live action movie was the best?
No,
As
that
the,
wasn't that
as the main
good.
character.
So moving
of the naked...
swiftly along from that.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was good. Yeah, but like
Any anime that they try to turn into like a live action movie is just terrible.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
doing it to One Piece and Cowboy Bebop. On
No!
oh my god.
Yeah, be
Oh,
prepared.
Wait, hold
But
on. Are you guys familiar with the show Lupin the Third?
No.
I've seen
No.
stuff
Okay.
about it. It looks pretty funny.
It's a wonderful show. It's like the original, like the Castle of Cagliostro is on Netflix, and it is a beautiful movie. But it's about this guy who's like a career criminal. He's like he does a lot of heists, and they're making this. I think it's already out in Japan, but it's a 3D animated movie, and it just looks fantastic. Like every trailer I've seen of it looks beautiful.
Is it the 3D animated movie?
3D animated movie, yeah.
It looks so like good.
Looks good.
Oh my
So look it up,
God.
Lupin the Third.
It's like a
Okay.
Pixar movie, but on steroids.
If I can find the link to it, I'll post it in
Bruh.
the chat. But one of the
Yes,
first
please.
things that got me into anime, I used to watch like way back in the day, of course, stuff like Naruto. I grew up with that. But when I really jumped into it was middle school, because of course. And the first show was one of the shows that one of my friends was watching, and she was like, "Yeah, dude, you should watch Soul Eater." And I was like, "Oh."
Soul Eater's
That
so
sounds like fun.
good.
And I watched Soul Eater, and I fucking loved it. Soul Eater is so good, and it really got me into everything. I started like I tried to watch as much as I could.
That's another good one to start off on.
Tyler, do you have a first?
Yeah, the first one was Naruto, the original. I was like in the 4th grade, I believe, when I watched Naruto original.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then the one anime that I really started watching seriously like that was Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
started watching a
Oh,
bunch of
freaking
other stuff.
Nicktoons.
Oh yeah, you see, that's where I really started watching it. It was like the Nicktoons, because the animes like they came on like super late, and it was like on Adult Swim, and my mom blocked my TV, so I couldn't watch like Adult Swim and stuff. So
That's
Ah,
awful.
that's why I didn't
Dude,
really.
wait, hold on. How many of you guys remember like Toonami?
Yeah,
So
they brought
I
it
have-
back though, right?
Yeah, they did. I posted a link in the chat for the Lupin the Third trailer. It's beautiful. Check it out.